Hello everyone, my name is Saurabh Tripathi and welcome to the Current Affairs Interceptor YouTube channel. Today is April 19 and we are going to learn important current affairs for your exam preparation. So let's start. Which company has been awarded as Indian Company of the Year for 2023 by Frost and Sullivan? STT GDC, Microsoft India, Google India or Ola Electric? So this company is STT GDC. You can call that STTJ, ST, Telemedia, Global Data Center, GDC, which stands at GDC, ST Telemedia Global Data Center, and it operates data centers at multiple locations all around the world. And this has been adjudged as Indian Company of the Year for 2023 by Frost and Sullivan. Frost and Sullivan is an American business consulting firm. You don't have to remember this, what it does, just have idea. So Frost and Sullivan has awarded the Indian Company of the Year award to STT GDC, which is ST Telemedia Global Data Center Award. So what is data center? Suppose you log in your browser, or you are going to sign up in your browser, and you enter your email ID, you enter your email password, you enter your date of birth. Okay. So when you click here, this website will go store data at some location so that it can remember that you have signed up earlier using your name, email ID, passwords, or mobile number. So it will be stored somewhere. This storage location is called data center. It stores all your data safely here, and the function of data center is to store data, management of data, and processing wherever required. So suppose you signed up first time, and when you come back at 1 week later, where would you go to get your information? So these data are sent back from your data center. It is matched and you are then logged in. So that's how data centers operate in a simple manner. And just keep an idea, just remember this, it is a very important question and it can be asked in your exams. ISRO's POEM-3 mission is about Zero Orbital Debris, Earth Imaging Satellite, Lunar Cluster Analyzer, Mars Water Sample. So it is Zero Orbital Debris. What is Zero Orbital Debris? Suppose this is the Earth. Okay, this is the Earth, and this is the outer atmosphere, outer space of Earth, which is very near to its surface. When satellites are launched, rocket goes up, and it places satellite somewhere in orbit, like this, in this orbit, very near to Earth. So satellite orbits around the Earth. Okay, satellite keeps orbiting around the Earth, and it has some lifetime. Some satellite work for 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years. After these years, these satellites stops working, and they lose their orbit and fall back on Earth. Okay, you know this simple concept. And there are some parts of satellite which don't fall back on Earth. It keeps orbiting. It keeps orbiting around Earth. Suppose this is full satellite, and some part has gone here, and some part will stay and keep orbiting it. So when you launch another satellite, it will likely crash here, and it will damage its new satellite as well. So these residual stuffs which are orbiting around the Earth, they are unnecessary. They are the broken parts. They are unusable parts. So these are the called space debris or space junk. Additionally, we know that International Space Station is also orbiting around the Earth. So when these space debris of multiple satellites all around the world are launched, are orbiting around the Earth unnecessarily, they might hit at very high speed to this space station and it may damage. So people who are there for maintenance work or for research work, they will face life-threatening situation. So we don't want space debris Earth in any manner. So space debris is very, very undesirable thing. Okay, so let's go again here. It is Earth, and additionally space debris also called by rocket. When rocket goes up, it often goes in multiple stages. First stage, second stage, and it keeps breaking out, and the next stage keeps up. And in the last stage, when the rocket launches the satellite, there is high chance that it will stay up there in space along with that satellite somewhere around. So what ISRO is doing that using POEM-3 mission, that it wants to reduce this space debris by, suppose this is a rocket, first stage, second stage, third stage, first stage, second stage, third stage, and fourth stage. Okay, first stage will damage, second stage will damage. Damage in the sense means it will burn up, it will do its part and then leave. And then we will third stage, and there will be fourth stage. Fourth stage is the last stage. Generally, not in every rocket. Just assume that it's the first stage, that is last stage. So the fourth stage often stays in orbit all around, near satellite. So again, it also works as space debris. So what ISRO plans is that in the fourth stage, it will make it, intelligent system. It will provide its own power source, command center, and telemetry. So by this part of the fourth stage can stay in space up to 73 days. Or in other words, you can judge this like that: in 73 days, you can make it navigate from outer space to Earth and safely can fall back in somewhere near ocean, or it's a safe place where human population is not there. So recently in PSLV, which is Polo Satellite Launch Vehicle, C58 means 58th launch, and ExpoSat mission, ISRO has used POEM-3. ExpoSat is X-ray polarimeter satellite, and POEM-3, P stands as PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, and OEM stands as orbital, E stands as experimental, and M stands as module, and 3 is its number. So PSLV stands as Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, which is PSLV rocket, and O stands as orbital, experimental, module 3. So POEM-3 mission is all about reducing the zero debris, or trying to achieve the practical zero debris mission by making the fourth stage having its own power source, its own telemetry and command center, so that it can be navigated safe back to the Earth without leaving it their space floating around and working as space junk. So it aims to reduce space junk or zero orbital debris. Please remember this very important mission. If you have any doubt with this, you can ask in comment section. I will try to answer your query in a best possible manner. So let's move to next one. Recently, ASI has decided to delist how many monuments which were declared as untraceable. So it is 17, 5, 8, 16 or 18. It is 18. So these sites, were untraceable, means they have lost with time, and they can't be traced like they exist here or not. They can't be traced. If you go these two places, these 18 places, you will notice that there is literally nothing exists there, means they are untraceable, they cannot be traced. So in order to focus better on other projects, ASI has decided to delist these sites, and these are 18 in total number. Please remember, this is a very important question and can be asked especially in SSC exams. ASI, which means Archaeological Survey of India, it was established in 1861. Janvi Sharma is DG, means Director General of ASI. The primary function of ASI is to, research, preserve, and protect of archaeological sites and monuments. The biggest achievement of ASI is discovery of Indus Valley Civilization, especially Harappa site in 1920. This is all about ASI. The current DG of ASI is Janvi Sharma, and its function is to research, preserve, and protect of sites. ASI was established in 1861. Election Commission of India's Saksham App is for kids, person with disabilities, voter awareness or voter ticketing. So it is person with disabilities. Saksham App aims to increase participation of people from person with disabilities, voter identification, as well as they can find their polling booth as well. Additionally, they can request wheelchair at the day of the voting in their location or both station. So Shaksham app is going to help with person with disabilities by providing them multiple information, and the app has been designed so that they can be read easily, such as larger font size, voice response, and multiple other features. Additionally, they can request wheelchair from the app so they can access the polling booth station in easier manner. What's first? Miss AI beauty pageant. As we know, beauty pageant is a beauty competition where judges judge based on various parameters, and Miss AI, as name suggests, is a artificial intelligence based beauty pageant. So it was organized by the World AI Creator Awards (WICAS) and will be organizing this event. There will be two judges, and that too will be AI powered. Additionally, winner will be receive 5,000 USD cash prize. So there will be multiple photos of AI generation, and additionally AI will just use those photos based on various parameters, and it is conducted by World AI Creator Awards. So this is the first Miss AI beauty pageant, and judges too will be AI. Armed Forces Medical Services. There will be joint hand with which institute to address challenges faced by the soldiers in tough terrain? IIT Mandi, IIT Roorkee, IIT Kanpur, or IIT Gandhinagar? It is IIT Kanpur. So Armed Forces Medical Services (AFMS) recently joined hand with it will be IIT Kanpur, and as we know that soldiers often face extreme weather, extreme environment, extreme terrain, and they face health issues, as it is not easy for humans to survive there. So to assess those problems and to provide the multiple solutions, IIT Kanpur is going to, according to Skytrax World Airport Awards, which airport has been ranked as the best airport in the world? Doha, Dublin, Delhi, Dhaka. You can tell it is Doha. Doha Airport has been adjudged as the best airport, and Doha is the capital of Qatar. It is a very very rich country in Middle East, and this capital is Qatar. So Doha Airport has been adjudged as the best airport in the world. The name of this airport is Hamad International Airport. Additionally, you have to remember that when it comes to regional best airport and the best airport in South Asia, it is Kemp Gowda International Airport in Bangalore, judged as best airport, best regional airport in India, as well as the best regional airport in South Asia. And now we go to the best airport in India in overall category. So it is DIAL. DIAL means Delhi International Airport Limited. So please don't confuse this. It is not company. It is a DIAL. You can remember this in easy manner. Delhi International Airport. So it has been adjudged as best airport in South Asia, as well as the best airport in India. So India's best airport is Delhi Airport, and for regional airport connectivity, Kempegowda Airport at Bangalore is the best airport in India as well as in South Asia. And when it comes to world ranking, Qatar Airport, which is Hamad International Airport, has been ranked as the best airport in the world. And this ranking has been provided by Skytrax World Airport Awards. Grok chatbot is related to which social media? Meta, IBM, X, or Cognizant? Please remember this, it is an important question. Grok chatbot is a X, which is formerly known as Twitter, and it is now owned by Elon Musk. And Grok chatbot is related to X. RBI is thinking of establishing Digital India Trust Agency Digita for cryptocurrency, gold coins, combat illegal lending cups, urban help desk center. So it is Combat illegal lending apps. Let me tell you, this is a very serious problem ongoing in all over the country, and you should know this very well. There have been lots of loan apps placed in App Store, Play Store, and these loan apps provide easy loans, instant loans as soon as you can. But when they provide a loan, they don't mention their terms and conditions properly, and people end up taking loan from them. But the catch is, those loans are offered at very high interest rate than current market interest rate, and those have very shorter repayment frame. For example, you have to pay them very fast. You get the loan fast, but you have to pay early to them, and they don't show any mercy. They show very aggressive behavior when it's come to recovery, and many people have their lost their lives just because of aggressive recovery practices, and they have also taken loan which was several times higher when it comes to interest rate, and failing to repay them, it has led to take a toll on their mental health, their health, as well as led to multiple suicides as well, as reported by the media. So curb these illegal loans apps which offer exorbitantly high interest rate, charge very high interest rate for providing the quick loans. RBI is setting up the Digital India Trust Agency, Digita. So what Digita will do, that it will approve the apps which has to be listed at a Play Store, as much as it is likely that RBI will scan those up first, then let them pass to be ranked at Play Store. So it will let to get a transparency, as well as owners name and all will be provided, as fake apps will not be at Play Store, at App Store, and people may be saved from these loan apps. We have, as read about STT-GDC. I want to tell you additional information about Microsoft India. Microsoft, it's not Microsoft India, it is a Microsoft global entity headquartered in Washington DC, plus OpenAI, which is owner of ChatGPT. Both together are going to create a something called Stargate, and this is a massive project at cost of around 100 billion USD, and it will be the AI supercomputer. As we know, the name is Stargate, and this is a very ambitious project. Such computer of this capacity is going to transform the world in a multiple ways, because these computers will process very high-end GPUs, graphics processing units. They will be able to predict lot of things using the AI capability of OpenAI, as well as Microsoft expertise on various technical domain. Advanta IGE. You can say this advantage, but you can say this Advanta IGE. So the purpose to equip 2 million people with AI skill set by 2025. So Advanta IGE is initiative of Microsoft. It aims to train or equip 2 million people with AI by 2025. Additionally, as we have discussed about Stargate. So we have discussed quite a few current affairs for today, and keep learning every day. Even if you don't see results immediately, just keep learning every day. Make your foundation strong, layer by layer, one by one day at a time, and one day you will be at top position. Just don't give up. Just don't hear anything else. Just keep preparing. Keep your head down and don't worry about anything else. Current affairs should be learned on daily basis, as you know that it is easy to memorize, and you will be very connected to multiple things. And when you start learning about 1 month of current affair, you will notice that there is some pattern. You can easily recall the previous month current affairs and the next month current affairs. They are all interconnected. But if you jump here out of nowhere just 1 month before exams, it will be humongous. It will be humongous to learn everything. Okay, you will be trying to connect backward, forward, and present, and it will be all mesh. So I suggest you to learn every day and don't panic or worry about anything. Just keep building yourself layer by layer, and one day you will be at top. Additionally, if you have any doubt, you can ask me in comment section. I will try to answer your queries. If you have any feedback with these videos, if you want any other questions in a particular manner, please leave a feedback. I will take your feedback into account. And don't be hopeless. Have faith in a higher power. You don't know when things are start working in your favor. So these were today's current affairs of April 19, and you can additionally go to playlist to learn about the previous days current affairs as well. And if you are on Twitter or X, you can follow us on here as well. And we post there multiple MCQs daily basis, and it will help you in recalling in a better manner. You can learn a lot of things. If you enjoyed this session, please like this video and please definitely subscribe to this channel, as you will get timely videos, and it will support me as well. I will bring you amazing content. I will work hard every day to bring you great content every day. Thank you so much for watching. I am very grateful you have joined me, and you have a great day.